Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Uh, Today I was putting a shifter cable in my truck because it broke. I come back in the house and I could smell something, and I was trying to figure out what it was. And the freezer, the plug-in where the freezer was, went bad. So now I have a freezer here that's not full of food. So I mean, it's the one I keep in the kitchen, to keep my own hand foods in. But it definitely went bad. And the freezer does kick on when I plug it back up, so it's just the plug-ins went bad. So today I'm gonna sit here and put all this food over into slop buckets for the hogs and take it down there to them. Uh, the best I can tell, it's been unplugged that plug-in's been dead for a day or two. But it's not like the food is rotten, so it's safe to feed to the hogs. But when you look at like these strawberries, blueberries, cabbages, I seen broccoli. Right here's some dates. Well, okay, I'll do that in a minute. Here's some big old pretty sweet peppers I had up. Now this isn't like devastating, but when you lose hamburger meat and stuff like that, it sure don't do your spirits good, but it's all part of it. I promise you, if you put food up like this will happen eventually. Either the freezer will go bad, something will go off, and I'm just glad I got the hogs to give it to. I'm gonna go in there and grab me a knife real quick. I'll be right back. When stuff like this happens, it kind of makes you just about heart sick. But this is why I've been going away from the freezer and more towards the canning side of everything. Right here's tenderloin. Corn. And be sure if you do something like this where I'm saving it for the animals, that you wash your hands real thoroughly in some kind of antibacterial soap, and that way you don't end up putting it in your mouth or something like that and making yourself sick. That's carrots. I'm just hoping that I don't lose seeds, because this is the one I keep a lot of my seeds in. I've done pulled them out of, most of them out. I'm gonna drain that and let it. I hope it didn't get in them other bags of seeds. It got in this deal, so I'm just gonna throw it out here in the front yard and hoping it'll come up. This is something else. I don't know what it is. It's a flower, it says. So I'm gonna sprinkle it out and see if maybe some hit will come up. But this is why, see, I piled stuff, the canning stuff on this freezer, and I hadn't checked it in a day or three. So, you know, this is what happens. And, you know, it's bad for me, but I guess it's good for the hogs. They'll like it. And I'm just hoping I can get the freezer clean enough to where it don't smell. But yeah, I would recommend canning your stuff, because, you know, this kills away this problem here. Okay, let me set this one down. I'll get another one. Right there, 6 things of beef. That's almost $30. But this ain't like a tragedy. I mean, some of this stuff's probably 2 years old and needed to be, you know, done away with. This just gives me an opportunity to make sure that everything goes in this freezer now is new. I'll take this out there to the water hose here in a minute and start rinsing it out, and getting some bleach and Dawn stuff in it, Dawn dishwasher liquid stuff in it. I may leave this one out there in the building for a couple of days and just work on it, clean it and everything for a couple of days. And oh man, about got me. But if you want to say this is part of prepping, it is. I mean, there ain't nobody out there that's prepping ain't had this happen at some point in time, I promise you. And there ain't nobody farming or canning and preserving for the winter ain't had this happen. I'm just glad the little freezer ain't stopped running. That was a bad one. That was my peppers. Lord. Look at my peppers. That's okay. There's some down there in the garden I'll gather up when I get this back together and refill this freezer. But I'm going to make sure that I put a light on this to indicate when it's on, and I can see it at all times. I know it's a turn a lot of people's stomach, but you know, I got to make the most of it. It's just part of life, and you know that gives me a place this it's winter to put up some more hog meat. Most of this stuff was from last year and the year before last, but you know I'm just looking at it as a blessing that my seeds wasn't in there deep enough that they got wet, because they all seem to be okay. But them, I got some what are they? Rattlesnake beans that kind of got wet, but I can replace them real easy. And I've got them down here on the vine still. Well, that's all that's in the freezer for now. Okay, so it ended up being a bucket and a half for the hogs. I will take that hamburger meat stuff out here in a minute, but I'm gonna let you go for a second. And I'm gonna run in here and wash my hands, and then I'll be back. Okay, everybody. The second part of making sure you know it ain't devastating is making sure my seeds are okay. This is Blue Lake heirloom bush beans, so you know they're good. They're good and dry. I'm gonna open up the bags that you know they're in, and just make sure that everything is still you know dry. And I've decided what I'm gonna do. See, these are all seeds I've ordered here lately, and you know, just been a day or two they've been in there, and you know this hit. So what I'm gonna do is ensure myself. Something bite me right there. I don't know what it is. Probably a sweat bee. That my seeds are at least in Ziploc bags. See, because these was not. And you know, that's something you want to do is make sure. Man, may have been something bigger than that because it was whooping me. Uh, it appears everything in this bag is good. I mean, nothing seems to be wet. But you know, if you do decide to start up a seed bank, be sure that they're every one of them in some Ziploc bags, and that way they have a. My TV's losing its mind. Uh, okay. You know that. Be sure they're in Ziploc bags after you get them, because you know that way you don't have to worry about if they get you know if it gets wet around them or whatever. Because this could have been really really bad, because I've spent quite a bit of money here lately in the seed bank, and I tried to stay with just the things that I eat, and Now this is some stuff I saved. This is an acorn squash. It's an heirloom acorn squash. I've grown these for years, and I always keep the seeds. Okay. This is jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. Now some of these seeds I've kept myself because it's something I try to grow every year. Let's see. Oh, this is what they call an old-timey pie pumpkin. And I believe they did get a little wet. No, I think they're okay. Okay. Now I'm going to take these. If you can do it and can afford to do it, I'd vacuum seal them. And that way you know there's no way anything's getting, any kind of moisture's getting to your seeds. Let's see what's here. That's lettuce. It was in a Ziploc bag. Those seem dry. Those are acorn squash. This is straight 8 cucumber seeds. Okay, I'm going to put all them in this bag. And what I'll do is just, when I need seeds, I'll just have to hunt them out and see what's worth. I'm not going to take the time today to do like beans, pumpkins, and so forth. I got too much to do on cleaning this freezer out and stuff. I mean, look here, people. That's a lot of seeds. Get me in that bag. There ain't going. What is it? I think it did. Okay, it did. But see, anything in a little pack like this, you need to put it in a Ziploc baggie. So, if anything ever does go wrong, it's good in that baggie, or vacuum seal it or something. That's acorn squash. See, even in these little envelopes right here, they're not safe. That's hot banana pepper. Oh, that's tobacco seeds. That's the old-timey black tobacco seeds. Okay, I'm just going to keep doing this until I get them all done. and make sure that, you know, they're all still good. But the most important thing happened is, you know, I can clean that freezer up, and the vegetables ain't that big of a loss. It's a loss, but it's not that big of a loss. It's not like it's devastating or nothing. But if I'd lost these seeds, now that would have been terrible. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, while I'm sitting here, I'm gonna make sure I don't lose these seeds. And I don't know if y'all have a lot of experience with seeds. If you keep them froze, man, they'll last for years. I have seeds from 2011 that I planted, and I had about 80% germination on them. So I was tickled death with that. Broccoli, Long Island improved, Brussels sprouts, Big Jim heirloom peppers. See, been a hard loss there, boys. We gotta keep these seeds safe. I should have done this way before now. I shouldn't have waited, but I never thought about the freezer going down. But you know, now that it went down, I'm thinking it could go down. And you do not have to keep your seeds in the freezer. It makes them last a whole lot longer. So you know, this is going to be my chore for the day. Is, you know, get these seeds all in Ziploc bags, and, you know, where they'll be safe. And I'll probably do if I get all this done and get the freezer cleaned up and stuff like that, I was wanting to do a video today on how to preserve eggs for up to 2 years. And I do it in 2 ways. And I was wanting to show y'all how I do it. But let me do this, and y'all go ahead and do what you're doing. And I will try to do another video, but you see I'm kind of over my head. I got to get somebody to come in and finish doing the cable on my truck. My body don't fit under my truck, and it's just slightly out of my reach, so I can't do it. I'm going to get somebody else to it. I can't get my jack underneath there to do it where it's sitting. So, you know, my son's coming this evening to do it, so I'm going to do this and make sure I don't lose no seeds. But I'm going to say, y'all have a good day. Have a blessed day. Be good to each other, and we'll see you on the next video.